Hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back here on Friday morning. And I'm sure you've been enjoying our segments, throughout the period. And there are still more coming up here on the show as well. At this point, we're going to be talking about putting women, in the spotlight. Women doing great things. And I see it right here with me.
Yes. So, women who are doing amazing well in the world of entrepreneurship, business-wise. That is what we do right here on Prime Morning every single time that we have women in business. And today is no exception. We have an exceptional lady seated with us this morning. KMJ and I cannot do justice to introducing who exactly we are about, having a discussion with. And so, do take a look at this video.
Emilia Jani, a real estate graduate from KNUST, brings a dynamic 6-year background in the construction industry, having worked with renowned companies. As the proud owner and CEO of Uncontained Spaces, a cutting-edge building solutions firm with 3 years of operation, Emilia specializes in using alternative building materials to craft innovative housing solutions. Her primary focus involves repurposing shipping containers into functional and sustainable living spaces. She's a mother of 2 lovely kids, a Presbyterian, and loves adventure.
Yep. So
she deserves a standing ovation. Because you are doing great.
Yep. How are you? First of all, I hope you're good.
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Doing well.
And good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm curious. You've got all these background, everything, education-wise, and all of that. And then you decided that let me put containers together and make something good out of it. I don't know why you had to think, beyond just the normal ones that we see in our system. So what necessitated this?
Okay, so this drive started way back in school. I mean, we always have affordable houses around, but the question is, are they really affordable? Because the average Ghanaian who needs the houses are not able to afford it. So then they end up not living up to the standard that they are supposed to live. I've done a lot of research about alternative building materials like wood, as is done in the States and other places. Yeah. But looking at our weather, the wood doesn't work well for us. So containers never really came into the picture back then, until I met my previous boss. He had a land in town and he wanted to develop something temporal, and we had to now think of what to do. So then we came across the containers and we did a little research about it. And we just put up one. It served the purpose that it's supposed to serve. And after a period of time, people come to the property and they like what they see. So then, can I have one? Can I have similar? Because then it covers a smaller footprint. You don't need a bigger land to have a container space. So then we have people come in and they make requests. And I think the very first project I did was actually for free because it was my boss friend and I just did it. And after that, I was like, well, can't you craft a business out of this? And that's when the whole entrepreneurial journey started.
Okay.
And this we're looking at how many years now? And
that's
was it
3 years, so that's post-COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that time, was it something that was almost everywhere? Or you were the one, you could probably say you were part of those who started this?
Yes, so trend. I think container spaces has been around for a while, mostly used in the mines. But people having it and adapting it as their home probably were one of the first that started it. And that's because of how we design our spaces. So we have larger windows, more glazing works to give you an engagement with the outdoor so you don't feel like you are in a cage.
Right.
So then people are beginning to like the whole concept because other container buildings I've seen mostly have smaller windows and with burglar proof. And the container is a box and then you're already having burglar proofs in it, so it makes you feel like you are caged. So we have a team of architects, so we always design the container to give it that whole feel where you connect with the outdoors. So it's more like you are in your room, but you can still have a feel of what's happening on your compound. And that gives it that kind of homey experience. Yeah.
You know, talking about it giving a homey experience, I would want to ask you about how safe really is it? Because we've on social media, we've been chancing on videos where people are breaking into people's homes, shops and all that, and are devising diverse ways of breaking into their homes or breaking into their shops. Some are using the tool for the welding and cutting burglar proofs and all that. So how safe really?
Okay, so when it comes to the issue of safety and burglar, even with a traditional home, if the thieves still want to break in, they are still going to break in.
Yes.
But then it takes us 4 to 5 days to cut out an average 20-foot container.
Okay.
So then that means they are made of cotton steel, and they are difficult to cut, and then they are resistant to rust. Right. So hardly will someone be able, I mean, it will take you days to be able to cut your way through to be able to rob someone.
Yeah.
The easier way to enter is through probably the glazing or something, and that is also difficult because mostly we use a double glazing, which has the argon in the middle, so before you break in, definitely you'll be caught.
Okay, right.
I'm excited about these conversations because I've seen the process of going through this. So I have one of the biggest pub in Winnipeg, you know, biggest lounge, and I saw it from the scratch when my partner and I decided that we want to put it up. And so I go in there. We did almost about 4 or 5 40-feet containers.
Okay.
Yeah, to put that together. It's a story.
Oh,
you know,
that's
it goes up
nice.
like that. So I saw the process.
Yeah.
So it is something that I've seen, and the question you were asking, you know, but when you get in there, you won't see the containers because we've made it more very convenient and you know easy for you to stay in and all of that, and it's doing. But my issue was this: when you're putting such stuff together, there's always the feeling that you're not going to end up feeling the same as you putting a structure from blocks or whatever it is.
Okay.
So people tend to have this idea that, is this something that is sustainable? Is this something that you could still go in there? And how do you make
the
it...
longevity of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you make it very attractive so that whoever gets in there would want to feel like home and not like I am staying in a container?
In a container.
Okay. So we pay much attention to details when it comes to finishing.
Okay.
Because even like the block house, it's still the finishing that makes the house a home and attractive. So even though it's container, we don't put in inferior materials. We are very keen on insulation. So we have a 2-way insulation where we insulate against sound, heat, electrical shocks, and because it's coming in contact with the metal. That's the first one. Then we do the cladding.
Okay.
Where, I mean, we have various materials we use for the cladding, from plasterboard to OSB boards, any kind of...
The cladding is, in a layman's perspective, what's
the walls. We pull up the walls.
So there's also walls in containers?
Yeah, there's walls in containers. So there is a frame, a wooden frame. Then you do the insulation. Then you have your walls. So the walls is what you see.
Okay.
Then
the container is inside?
It's inside,
okay.
Yes. So then you see the walls. And then the finishing. So what will make it attractive is the finishing.
Yeah.
So the kind of paint you are using, the kind of features, like the electrical sockets, the lighting. And we make sure we put in a lot of lights. Okay. I feel in Ghanaian homes, we always have this one bulb in the middle of of a hall, and the whole place is looking so dark.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that with the containers. We always make sure that there is so much light coming in, making the place bright and lovely. So once we are through with the finishing, then we come in with the other gadgets that you use, and that's also preferential to the clients.
Okay.
So the kind of gadgets you want to have in, like the furniture, the bed, mostly we custom make them.
Okay.
We make the beds and then the cabinets and the wardrobe spaces because the space is small.
Yeah.
The container is fixed, the space is fixed.
Yeah.
If I leave that to you to get yourself a wardrobe, you may never find a wardrobe that will fit the size. So mostly we do the fittings for you, and then we provide the bed. We just make it cozy for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Is this something that is well patronized? Looking at the fact that it's smaller, and again, people would want to prefer living in a block house than living, is this something that people are accepting it?
Yes. So I feel as Ghanaians, we are evolving over time. I think some years back, hardly would someone want to buy a story building because they want to own the land. Like, this is my house with the land. I don't understand why I should buy a building that is 3 floors. I'm on the 3rd floor, like I don't have a land. But now we are adapting, we are buying into the concept of, I mean, I don't mind staying on the 5th floor, like that is my house. The same way people are beginning to welcome the whole container concept as living spaces. And it's not just the living spaces, we also have solutions for different ventures. So we have for agriculture, there is a farm we did a setup for, it's called Farmates. They are into tomato production on an 80-acre land. Beef tomato production. And their entire farm setup was done with containers.
Wow.
So we have the accommodations, their offices, the pack houses, and then the cold rooms. So for agriculture, we came up with solutions for them because then anyone that produces fruits or vegetables or even meat or poultry will probably need a cold room. So we repurpose the containers, we build them into cold rooms to meet that purpose. We do for mines. The mines also, I mean, they are more of accommodation. They are more of guard posts and all of those ones. So, I mean, every sector we get into, we try to craft a solution for them that will meet your needs. So, On Content is all about alternative housing, not necessarily the containers, just that now we are focusing on the containers, but alternative housing solutions. So, whatever the solution that you need. So someone has a house, need a guest room, but you don't have to
worry about the price of cement and then all those things.
Iron rods, labor coming in and out of your house. Yeah, like just get one. And we have a yard where we do the production, so we don't even produce on site. We produce at our factory and we deliver to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so we don't produce on site, so you don't have to get all these laborers interacting into your house and going in and out. You can have that by the side of your house. And for the 20 foot, the smaller one studio, a maximum of 2 weeks, you're done. You're done. A maximum of 2 weeks, you have your unit ready. So then it saves you time.
Yeah.
It saves you this whole dealing with artisans and laborers.
3 months, 4 months to
and sometimes it's
cement blocks.
And sometimes it's sad because there are people who own lands, they are renting, and then they are waiting to use their pensions money to build a house. You don't have to go through that because with a container, you can build with a modular approach in the sense that you have one unit, that's what you need now. As the family grows, as you go, you can add, you can stack, you can put by the side. So you are not under pressure to put up a whole 3-bedroom house right now. You can do 1 bedroom. As you go, as you make your money, you add on. You keep adding on. And it's movable. So years down the line when you feel like, okay, I've arrived, I've made it, I want to do something else, you just lift it. You don't need to come and break the land, affect anything on the land. So then it saves you time, it saves you money. You understand?
I get it. Okay, so I was going to ask about, limitations in relation to constructing all these. But before we get into that, earlier when you were talking about, your boss bringing in something, for you to do just quickly, and then you thought of the whole container thing. Is it that at that time you were doing real estate and when that idea came and then you did it, it worked, it was very easy for you to say that, okay, so since I've done this and I've worked, let me move away from my boss and stop working for him and then start doing something of my own? Or you were still under your boss doing this whole thing? Okay,
so I was still under him.
Okay.
At the end of the day, he became a co-founder of Uncontained Spaces. So let me give a shout out to him, Mr. Abraham Amevo. He's a co-founder of Uncontained Spaces because then he's very daring, he's adventurous, and construction is capital intensive. At the time, I was just a young girl who came out from school and trying to find my feet. So definitely, I need all the support that I could get. And then he bought into the whole idea. He loved what we produced for him. So then when this whole company concept came up, he bought into it. So then he came on board and then we started moving. So I worked under him for a period of time. I think even after that, I worked there for a year until I moved away completely to be on my own.
Let's talk about being on your own, how it started. Because you had already done one for free, which was your boss's friend.
Yeah.
So now let's come to you alone. Put yourself out there, getting people to
Where the real
identify you,
problem-
where the real now because you are set apart now. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so I think when I came out on my own, what helped me was farm mates. So farm mates came also, because they're into agriculture, and my former boss then was running a digital solution company called Code Hub. So we provide websites and all of those things for them. So when farm mate came in, they had a chance to come to the property and they saw it. So they liked it. So I think I moved away with farm mates.
Okay.
So I had a project that helped me move away. So I didn't move away going to search for a project. I moved away.
Lucky you.
You were fortunate.
No, but then the storms came because after farm mate project, what next? And I think I went through like a drought period for like 6 months. There's no project.
Because you need to do a lot of convincing at the time for people to be able to say
a lot
they
of
want
talking.
back
Like
to it.
it takes like an average of 3 months to convince someone to get a project. So then when I realized that, now anytime I have a project, right after I landed the project, I'm searching for the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that before the production is done for this, we have something
You already
else
have an
coming.
idea who-
But then I didn't know that. So I had to go through like a whole 6 months, and I was at
Waiting
some
for the next client.
at some point I wanted to stop. I was like, you know what?
I'm done.
Let me just go back. Let me just go back to corporate because I was doing okay then. So, but then there was a force. Like I felt I needed to go through with this, and then my former boss was a huge support because he goes like, "You did this. It worked. So why do you want to quit? You are going to do this." I remember there was this day, I was so down. I was like, you know what? I'm going back. If you not take me back, I'll go and look for another place. And then he said, "No, you are not. You are not going anywhere. You are going to do this, and it's going to work." So that was where the support came from. I believe I'm greatly helped by God, first and foremost. But then he has played a major role in my entrepreneurial journey by helping and supporting whichever way he could. Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of convincing, clients to be able to accept what you're trying to put out there, because there are people that you don't just do a normal floor. You have about 2-3 story and all of that.
Yeah.
In terms of safety, how do you convince people to know that it's not going to break in 2 minutes, or it's not something, because I can remember very well when we're we had to be, they reported us to the municipal and told them that we're putting container that will break, and there was so much fear.
Yeah.
How do you do your convincing to ensure your clients believe in what you're putting out?
Okay, so after the whole back and forth talking and conversations, I have a demo property.
Okay, sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you show interest and we pick the conversation to a stage, I bring you in.
Okay.
And mostly that does most of the talking for me. Because when
you go there to
when you
experience
get there, you experience, most people are concerned about the heat, the weather. You enter it and it's just like entering a normal house. The aesthetics are looking nice. Everything is...
This is just a single apartment, or
I
it's...
think that's my demo.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
demo. So I left it uncladded. I didn't do anything to the containers, just so that
Just so
you
you
are
are
sure.
able to experience...
You are sure it's a
detail.
container.
It's a container.
Yeah, and then when you go in, and the moment they go into those units, it does some magic for me because they love it.
It doesn't feel like a container.
It doesn't feel like a
But when you
container.
come out, it looks like a container.
Yeah, yeah. When you are outside, it looks like a container.
Yeah.
When you are in, it doesn't feel like a container.
Yeah.
And I think a new solution I'm trying to even bring out is that it's 100% soundproof. So for people who want to set up studios, and that they can use it because once you are in, everything that goes on in stays in.
Wow. This is incredible.
Yeah. So the opening I'm talking about, like the whole front is glazed. There's a washroom in there. The bed was made by us. There's an opening on the side. There's a window at the back. So it's just an open space. When you are in it, just feels like you're in a glass house. Yeah. Very open.
Now let's talk about the limits that you have when it comes to constructing these. The limitations.
Okay. So the limitations has to do with the materials.
Okay.
sometimes it's scarce to get them, and the few people that have it also try to play around the price margins. Yeah. So I mean, so far that's the limitations we have. But when it comes to skilled labor, we have them.
Okay.
They are exceptional. Hi, Uncle Team. You are doing exceptional. Yes. Okay. But when it comes to like getting because sometimes you travel outside, one thing I see has to do with the glazing. You see very unique, nice glazing, but you come here, you're searching for it, and you don't get it. And the few companies that have it are quoting in dollars, and and the whole point of having a container home is to beat the price. So if I cannot put in something that is nice and is very expensive, it defeats the whole purpose. But then we still have, standard. The normal things that we use around, we still have those ones. Next year I'm working on, going out and trying to get those materials in.
Okay, yourself.
Myself at an affordable price. Most of the sources I do it myself. So from buying the container,
you go out.
I go out myself. All the projects. I think I've worked on about 9 projects so far, with a total of 60 containers. And all those containers, I sourced it myself. So I go to the harbor and then I make sure I do the inspections, make sure they're in the right state, they carry the right materials. Before we are buying from the right source. Yeah. Because, container can have its own wahala when it comes to procuring it. So we make sure we are getting from the right source, they're in the right shape, the right state, and then we move on. So then you have to be in control of the business. And it starts right from sourcing the containers. Yeah.
So you being a woman right now, I'm thinking because I love to see women do great things. Yeah. Even more so when they are daring into places where, where it's for men. Yeah. And so, for example, you and I will go to a CEDO and say, we are into container building. But I am a man. I know how container as heavy as it is, if I want to do the job, it's probably likely going to be that I'll do it better than you would do it, because container is a man thing, if you want to look at it from that angle. But you being a woman and still commanding this level of, zeal that will make a man or any other client want to choose you over me. How do you do that?
Okay, so...
Because really... A CEDO will probably say, oh no, I just want to remember Juma.
Maybe I wouldn't really trust you being a woman, you can deliver.
You're container, you are. How do you do
it? So, interestingly enough, I have had only 2 women clients. All the rest are men.
How do you believe you just...
No, because, women are exceptional. We pay attention to details.
I agree.
Yeah. So, I think it's that drives them. And I don't think it has to be based on gender when it comes to building. Majority of my staff, let me say, we have it's just me, no 2. No, we have 2 females. All the rest are guys.
About how many?
So in-house staff, I have 6.
Okay.
In-house, I'm the only lady.
Oh.
And then we outsource. So we have contract basis for the artisans, so the carpenters, the welders. I contract them on contract basis. So then they are guys.
Okay.
And I think people are evolving and they are moving away from the whole, this is a man's job, this is a woman's job. At the end of the day, I direct affairs. I don't do the cutting. I don't do the welding. Yeah.
But you are the one who tell them that I'm the one who's going to do the cutting.
Yeah, exactly. So then I bring them to see what I can do. Yeah. And they like what I do.
Right.
So then they come to me. And I think I have like 2 referrals. I did one for someone and the person brought in the friend. So then I think they like what we are producing, so that's how come they keep coming. Yeah.
Okay. All right, viewers. So we are seated with Emilia Barke-Jani, who is the CEO of Uncontained Spaces, and we are talking about how she's been able to do all of this, to run through the journey of turning containers into affordable houses for you and I. And so please get interactive with us on all our social media platforms. Our WhatsApp number is very active. The number is 055-157-5757. our Facebook. We are live as well. It is Joy Prime. And so we have a couple of people who have sent in some messages on Facebook. Let's read them. So Joseph Kofi Edu. Yeah, okay, his hands are lifted. Yeah, we see you, Joseph. And then next one, I have Nanekia saying, good morning to you. Clement Kwao Nelson says, I think it's affordable and convenient. Yes, we think so too. And Clement again says, nice one. Indeed, it is nice. Next one, Shulamite Efwa Akodo says, Emilia has always been a very intelligent girl. I'm proud of you, Emi. Well done. You know her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a classmate in secondary school.
Oh. Nice. Okay. And then we have Joseph and Nikia. All right. Okay. So I think Joseph is giving you high five. So high five in the air. Yeah.
So Joseph Kofi Edu is my reverend at church. Yeah. So I fellowship with the Love Congregation at New Legonoko. So he's the head pastor. Hello.
Oh, nice. So please still send in your messages. Emilia is here. She's doing a great job. So send in all the positive messages for her. And we are definitely going to be reading in the course of the segment. MJ.
They say it's affordable.
Yes.
Convenient, yes. But how affordable is this? If I want to put on one, in the future.
Okay, so affordability is relative. When it comes to the containers, we make them ourselves. And I always give the clients the power to decide so many things. So let me give you an example. I met this client. She's a lady. She wanted to have a factory to produce liquid soap. And she's now starting. It's a startup. So she's not looking for anything fancy. So then we asked for her budget and all of that, and we worked around it for her. She got what she wanted, and it met her need. So then the solution was provided.
Yeah.
So another project comes on board, and it's for a resort around the Sugakope. So that's a current project I'm working on. It's a resort along the Sugakope stretch. It's a riverfront resort. And he wants something fancy because it's a resort. So then we put in all the fancy stuff. So when it comes to affordable, yes, it is affordable as compared to the traditional houses. It is very affordable. But then you also have a say in how affordable it becomes to you. So whether it will go up or we come down, it depends on the client. So you tell me what you want, and then I work with that for you.
Earlier, you did mention that it doesn't rust, right?
No, so it doesn't rust. The cotton steel is made not to rust.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Because I was thinking about when you mentioned the waterfronts.
The resort.
Yeah, no, but the containers are made for the sea.
Okay.
Because they are used to transport. Yes, transport. So, and the sea has the salt that, facilitates the rusting.
Yeah.
Once you take it away from the sea, you have prolonged its life cycle.
Okay.
And then when we get them, we treat them. Okay. So we anti-rust coat in and out to preserve the container. So before we do the final, so that's Sugakope, that's the resort. We have 6 of the accommodation units, and then there is a restaurant. Initially, we're planning to put the restaurant on the river, and then they open the dam. And then there was so then we are thinking, maybe we should move on land because, we don't have it on the river, and one day you wake up and you see your investments moving out. Yeah. So we have 3 here, there will be 3 on the other side, and then the restaurant will come at the back.
So these are full rooms?
These are full rooms. These are 20-foot accommodation units, and the washroom is at the back, and then the bed will be facing the view. Okay. And then we'll have a deck. So the deck will project into the river where you can walk, and then you have that feel.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there could be like 3 bedrooms, it could be a living room.
Yeah.
You could put all of that together to make it look like, a full mansion.
Yeah. We actually have an upcoming project which is a 3-bedroom house, and we are using 2 of the 40-foot containers. We position side by side. And then the middle will be the living space. And then we divide this into 2. You have 3 bedrooms and one side as a kitchen. And then you have a living space in it.
Is that the Sugakope?
No, so this is the farm.
Different?
This is farm mate.
Okay.
It's in the water. So that's the water river at the back. And then the farm is around it.
Oh, okay.
And then this unit has accommodation on one side. And then this side is their lounge. So they do their meetings and they use it as an office for now. So that's the farm project. I think there is an aerial view.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have accommodations also on that side. So there again, so for the farm, if you realize we didn't do a full glazing in front because they were on a budget at the time. So then we worked to suit what they wanted. Yeah, so they have the windows, but even those windows are huge. I mean, once they open them, they have air coming in, so they don't even use the air conditions all the time. Yeah.
Averagely, how much is one going to be paying for a normal, one room sort of? Maybe not the exact amount, but
I'll refrain from giving the amount out because I did an interview with one station, and then I mentioned the price for a single unit. Then someone calls and says, "I want a 2-bedroom." But you said it's X amount. And I said, no, but the X amount was for the single unit. He said, no. You mentioned it's like this, so then in my mind, I'm assuming that then the 2-bedroom should go for that.
And how much did you mention that the person how much are we talking about that the person thinks that it was for the 2?
So I mentioned 90,000.
90,000.
Yes.
The person felt that
it was for 2, yeah.
And so,
wow.
Yeah, so then it comes and so like, it's for 2, and you mentioned it's fully finished. And I was like, yeah, but that's not what I was talking about. Yes.
So you're likely going to be paying maybe around 150,000
yes.
for the one you're referring to.
Yeah, or less. For the 20 foot.
Comparatively to the normal building, that's like you're paying higher than that.
Yes.
Depending on what you want.
So let's assume you pay 150. 150 is getting you everything. All you come in is with your bag.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your air conditioners, the refrigeration, washing machine,
And we're looking at a bedroom or something? Or
one bedroom, your washroom,
everything
finished.
Okay.
And you come in with your bag. But you can pay the same 150 for a block house, and you have to come and do the finishing.
Yeah.
You have to bring in your electronics, you have to bring in the washroom fittings and all of that. So then, relatively, it's cheaper as compared to the block house. Yeah.
And
it saves you time.
Yeah.
So let's say I have a project, or I need to stay somewhere. In a space of 2 weeks, you have it done. Unlike a block work where we'll probably take that same unit can take you like 3 months to have it done because they need to cast the concrete, it needs to cure, they need to erect the walls, they have to do the plastering, the roofing, and all of this is capital intensive, labor-wise, materials, and time. I think one essential thing that we need to pay attention to is the time, because then the production time is faster.
Okay.
And I keep saying, there's no point having a land and still be renting.
Right.
When you can have something to live in within the shortest possible time. Recently, I had a client, he came in and he mentioned that, my rent is about expiring, so can you fix something for me within the next 3 months? I said, 3 months is too long. I only need 2 weeks to fix something for you.
Right.
And
the person had the land already.
He has the land already, and he's super excited about it. So I feel like we have to get to that stage where we adapt this kind of units, and then we save up money to enjoy our lives. Because, people save up millions of cedis just to own a house.
Emilia is on the route of putting apartment owners out of business.
But I'm
excited aiming at that.
I may have
to So for those that are watching right now and are inspired by what you do, what you've done, and would want to, start something like this, can you share with us exactly what inputs or how they would have to prepare themselves to get into that the industry you're currently in? Because you, luckily for you, you had some sort of push.
Yeah.
But it might not be the same for somebody at home, but then is very motivated by your story so far. What can they do?
Okay, so first of all, I feel they need to get the knowledge.
Okay.
Because one thing that helped me was the knowledge I had in construction and real estate as a background. Once you know what you're about, it makes it easier. Even directing the artisan. Sometimes I get to site and I see what you're doing. I say, the line is not straight. And they were like,
how do you
it's
know?
straight. I said, put a level on it.
Yeah.
And it ends up done right. So you need to have, first of all, you need to have passion for it, because it's not an easy terrain.
Yeah.
Going to the harbor to source for containers alone is a different game. Bringing it on site and working with artisans who are males is also another thing on its own. But you need to have the passion for it. That's first of all. You need to have the knowledge. So if you don't have the knowledge, you can learn.
Okay.
You can start by learning.
Yeah.
You can read a lot. There is a lot of information
On the
online
internet,
now.
yeah.
It's
On the
not because
internet.
Amelia is doing
It's
it.
doing it,
So
yes. So
you can also,
you need to read a lot, and
Yeah.
then you need to have good people skills. Managing your staff and managing clients. I mean, it's very, because the clients makes the business.
True.
And you should be able to manage them, whichever. So let me say one mistake I made when I was coming up. There was this client, I worked for him. And he was happy at some point, and then he came back. Like, you know that thing where they agree, and then they want to bid down the price. Oh, I think, can you add this? Can you remove this? Can you bid down this? Can you do that? I mean, we went through the first project. Then the second time, he hit me up and was like, I need an office. And I was like, okay. Should I take it? Should I not take it?
You don't want to go through that.
But as a business person, I learned that you don't add emotions to what you do.
Yeah.
So whether it was a difficult client or not, there are ways to go about them. So for a client like that, you can have documentations down where you sign your contract and you make it very clear in the contract that once this is signed, you can't make changes.
Yes.
If you're making changes, it's going to
comes with additional cost.
Additional cost, and let it be stated in the contract. And I feel like once people see that kind of structure with the business, they give you the needed respect.
Yeah.
Because they just know that I can't come in here and have my way or play around things. So I don't play with my documentation. The contracts and anything that needs to be signed or stated, I make sure that we are all on the same page. Just so that when we start, because then like you say, as a woman, and small girl like myself, they see you and they go like, oh, I can bully her small.
Yeah, so they try to bully you.
Yes, sometimes they try to bully you, like try to have their way around, because then you mention an amount and they go like, it's too expensive. But I go like, I don't want to compromise your work. One thing I want to be known for in business is integrity. I want to build a business on trust. So I don't want to take your money. I can take your money. I can decide to take out one of the installation. You wouldn't know. I can decide to take out, reduce the quality of the boards I will use for the walls.
And you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
True.
And at the end of the day, you still have the final finish, and it will work for you probably for some time, but you begin to have problems. By then, I've taken the money and I'm gone.
And you're way gone.
But because how it started mostly was on referrals, I believe those people referring me liked what they saw.
And they believe in you.
And they believed in me.
Yeah.
So then
And you don't even want it to go against them.
Exactly. So I want to keep up the same standard.
Yeah.
So I will explain to you why you need to do this. And I feel like it works. So anyone who wants to go into the business, I feel like you have to, first of all, understand what you're doing and be able to explain. People don't mind paying, but they don't once they don't know what it's going to be used for.
Make them understand.
Make them understand what they are paying for.
Yeah.
I let you understand the kind of value you are getting. And then that solves the problem for both of us. Someone can pay money and you go like, I don't want to hear from you. I just want to have my final product.
So it just leaves everything for you.
Just leave everything. I was like, I just want to have my final product. And to me, it means a lot.
Yeah.
That's trust. Giving your money to me and say, I don't want weekly updates. I don't want anything. I just want to have my final product. That means a lot to me. So I try as much as possible to live up to that standard. So when there's a job that I feel you are trying to compromise so many things, I may have to turn it down because I want to build a brand and I want it to be known for something. So then I have to stand by that.
Is this something that you do just here in Accra because of the logistics? Are you able to move out of Accra to places in Kumasi, Takoradi, and all that?
So I've been to Cape Coast. I've been to Sogankope, which is Volta.
Yeah.
I've been to Waje, which is Volta. I'm looking at going to the north.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Accra, I have...
So you move the containers from Accra all the way to the north?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? It's time for... let's just go read some comments from our WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So let's get started on this one. So this one says, this is innovative. She's a great example for the youth and a beacon of hope for Africa. Aw, isn't that sweet? Viewers, please, I urge you to kindly add your names and where you are texting from because we would love to know that as well. Next one, how can we get in touch with the company? Don't worry, she's going to leave her details for you to get. Good morning, please. Can she give out her number? I need to talk with her. She's definitely going to do that. Okay, next one. She's done very well. Young females out there should learn from Emilia Barke. God bless you. I think there is more for her to do. May God grant you long life. Amen. Okay. Next one, we have good morning. I am Elijah Pampo, and I am watching from Monrovia, Liberia. I really love the whole concept of living in a container house. It's elegant. If I finally come to Ghana to stay, I will love to live in one. That would be very lovely. Okay, so these are some of the comments. Please keep your comments coming in. And like I said, don't forget to add your name and where you are texting us from. We are definitely going to read it. Okay, so we have one here. Let's see. Oh, okay, so the person who requested for Emilia's number, it says Ben Ellis Agbadi is their name. Okay, Ben, thank you very much. Viewers, keep the messages coming in. The WhatsApp number is 055-1575757. Or you can go to our Facebook. It is Joy Prime. Don't add the TV. Any questions at all that you have for Emilia, she's willing and ready to answer them for you. So let me resume my seat so we can continue talking with Emilia. Her royal was.
Walking like.
Please, it is all about Emilia today. It is all about Emilia
like
today.
She's going to back Anyway, you can still send in your messages to us here. You want to appreciate Emilia and what she's doing for herself and representing women at large. I'm excited about what you're doing, no doubt about it, because many of the things that I've seen, in terms of the container houses, I've seen men. And so when I heard about the fact that you're also doing this, it makes a lot of sense now. Because,
it sounded incredible.
I mean, you should, I don't know how many women you have in that space since you're there, but I mean, for the fact that you're there, you're contributing your own part to it, makes a lot of sense. And it's something you don't have to give up on that. Yeah.
Have you met women in your space?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Not yet.
I know the men's side because that's but the women, nah.
Okay.
So far, I think let me be bold to say, I think I'm the only woman running it as a company. Maybe there are a few others, but then the competitors that I know of, they are all men, dominated. Yeah, and I think on one of my trips to Sogakope, I met a female welder, and I'm looking at bringing her on board. Like, she's good. Okay. At what she's doing, and she's a female, and she's welding. Like, that's the first time I'm seeing a female.
I mean, since you only have two,
yeah. So it's only good to bring on board more.
Both the numbers growing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So what I would say is that congratulations to you. You are doing very, very amazing. I'm actually inspired by this to see that this is a male-dominated area, and to see that you are doing incredibly well. It's just, super, super encouraging. And I know that viewers out there, a whole lot of you, especially the young women out there, are super inspired by what you're doing. But before you go, we had some comments who were requesting your number and where we can get you. So kindly put your social media across, and then if you want to put your phone number out there as well. Okay,
so we are on all social media platforms, on Contain Spaces, and our office is in Achimota, close to the news station. And the contact is 020-133-0680. 020-133-0680. So it's on WhatsApp or call. Anyone, you can get in touch with us.
Okay.
Very well.
Yeah. We're done.
Yeah, that will be our conversation for Women in Business today here on Prime Morning. I want to believe you enjoyed every bit of the conversation and you're hoping to also achieve your dreams if you want to get into that space as well. At least you have an idea what to do, what to expect, and all of that. That will help guide you. And so, it is what it is. Hopefully, next week we'll get to celebrate another woman.
Another woman. And let's not forget, I mean, what you said, that before you get into something, you need to read a lot about it, research into it, and then know very, very well. Okay, so, Emilia, you have somebody to say hi, hello to? Okay.
Yeah, so one of my, let me say, my main support system, who is my mom. I know she's watching now because she takes care of my kids, and that gives me the room to
do all the right
I think I'm a woman who is well helped all around.
Yeah.
Like
from the beginning of
my journey to the end.
Yeah.
My previous boss, my mom has been there, and I'd like to say thank you, Mom. And it's all Uncontained Space team, Dennis, Solomon, Clement, everybody, Melissa, Anita, thank you so much, guys. Eves, I love you guys. Thank you, because they help make the work much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, you assign someone a task, and they are very passionate about how it's going to be, and they look out for the good. So they work hard alongside myself to make it happen. So I love them so much.
Emilia, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And so viewers, our guest for Women in Business has been Emilia Bakejani, who is the CEO of Uncontained Spaces. I hope that you've learned a lot. KMJ and I have learned a lot from her. Yep.